I just saw it is so important not to give certain people a microphone because they never stop talking. It's not Willem, it's somebody else. Like Warren, but I won't mention names. Now, I'm Fraser Bart and I'm the principal of Maxonia Primary. Are you? Okay. And welcome to our presentation. We just have a vision that we shared, and this was created with my partner and myself. Just go back. And that was just to create a place where we can ensure that quality education obviously do play a bigger role, but that we get the continuous support of all the people and especially the farmers and the farming community with us. So that's our school. I didn't paint that. On the left-hand side, you'll see that we also got the partnership with a school in the UK, Presbury, and that is in the Manchester area. That's me in the waterfront. And in the garden, the place that I really love to be. My partner, Andrew, like Jessica mentioned, that he is a wine farmer. And I do believe Andrew, and that is his surname, Khan. You've got to be afraid of these people. Like I said, he's a wine farmer, and he's also married to a wine farmer. So his wife is also a farmer. And they do support the school. Just the staff, the pretty one on the left-hand side, that's me. Just the short where we come from. The name Maxonia is derived from the first owners of the farm, which used to be Max and his wife Sonia, so that's why the name Maxonia. We were established in 1959, so we'll be turning 60 next year, just as old as I am. And the builders of the school was actually the Dutch Reformed Church. That in the apartheid years, they created a space for kids from the farming area to have a space where they could be safe in an educational system. Yeah. And thanks to Dominee Warnick. Yeah. Just, is there one back? Just go. Okay. So like I mentioned, we are keen gardeners, and especially myself. And we've got these two guardians of our garden, Max and Sonia. Another painting that I did myself. We did 100 for Madiba, and I actually stood on the roof of the school to take this picture, just to say that I still can climb a ladder. The school was established, like I said, in 1959, and it had 54 learners from standard 1, sub A, yeah, now from grade 1 to 7. So, but currently, we've got 163 learners going from grade R, which was introduced, so we got a new classroom for the grade Rs, up till grade 6, and I'm the grade 6 teacher. I'm also a full-time teacher and a full-time principal. That's why I'm so fat. Then just our mission statement. I think this was just to tick the boxes that we do have a mission statement. But I just want to get our vision and our mission statement. And the last part that is important to you, but is that everything that we do, we must have fun. It's small at the bottom. Can you go on? Okay. Right. just some legal aspects, that we are a public school on private property. Now this is actually where we're sitting with a problem. Because of our status, the school buildings belong to the church, and the government is paying for all the other things. But there's a contract which binds the owners and the WCD, so that it is difficult for us to actually do more things. Like, for example, they're just responsible for inside, taking care of how the building looks inside, but the church is supposed to be looking at the outside. And as you know, the church is running empty, no money, and they're actually paying a rental of 3,600 for the school. So obviously it's not possible for them to take care of it. So who must do it? The school self, myself and the governing body, and obviously now the Partners for Possibility. That's my boss at the bottom. That's just where we are in the Overberg area, and that's our director. He planted a tree, but he didn't grow. Don't tell him. You can just go on. For those who are interested, go on, just go on. Oh, no, this is important. You've got to go slow now. For all the funders, please take note. First National Bank, FNB. You can make a note. Can make a note. All right. Yeah, that's the account number. So we are also then, we've got to do, like all the schools, have an independent auditor. So the money is safe. One thing that we picked up, especially with Partners for Possibility, was that it is possible for us to give people that give donations an 18A certificate. And I think this made a massive impact this year for us. It's the first time, and this actually caused that we had, I think, double the amount of money that we thought we would raise this year that we could raise. And I think this actually made a big difference. So anybody that wants to donate, I can issue those certificates. Okay, so these are just the things that we are good at. You can just move on. I won't read through that. Getting people involved, this weekend works, skills development, some of our extramural activities. Just remember, we are a small school on the farming area. So some of our challenges that we've got, I won't go that. I think most of the schools got the same challenges. And also, okay, let's just get to that one. Go back. Go back. All right, there we go. So we also got other people that get involved, and we've got the Dutch students that comes to school also to help out a bit. And this is the thing that we picked up, that we can't do things on our own. That no school is actually an island, and especially the principal, that we do need lots of more support, and we got this through the Han University, that they send out students right throughout the year to us. Leave that for. Just parents' involvement, more parenting. Right. So what are we thankful for our learners that's so eager to attend, our feeding scheme that we've got, the dedicated and committed staff, and obviously myself, the parents and the farmers that support, and I think the thing is about people that are willing to help us and not must help us. There are some of those also. Our greatest needs obviously is because of our circumstances. We've got multi-grade classes, and like I said, mentioned, I'm a full-time teacher myself. Luckily the kids are writing today, so they're glad that I'm not there. Teaching assistants, repairs done to the school, like I mentioned, it belongs to the Dutch Reformed Church, and we need to repair that. computers, we'll get back to that one later on, updates on software, and obviously massive problem in the rural area is transport. Okay, sports field and the weak internet connection. That's why Jessica only got my presentation last night, I think about 11 o'clock. It's because of the poor connection, Jessica. Then we also got excursions that we feel that is a very important thing, especially for kids on the rural area. These kids only know home, school, the lorry, and town. So we took the kids out in the holidays to a camp, and obviously lots of them can't afford it, but we can't. But we are making sure that everybody goes, or everybody goes, or nobody goes. So, and this is another thing that we then raise funds for with our partner. Okay, we need to paint the school. There's a possibility of getting marimbas, storage, tunnels, all right. Just that we do ensure that we do take the kids out every year on an outing. That's the smaller ones. And this is the one that we just did during the holiday. That's me and more of the partners, because like I said, we are good at gardening. And just to brag a little bit, we have been finalists for the EduPlant, that Woolworths EduPlant that you sell grapes to, in Johannesburg for the finals 2 times already. Just more Dutch students that came to school. Harvesting time, very important time, but it's just not harvesting the fruit, but seeing what we can get from our kids. Let's go. Okay, just the last one. I think somebody needs to know that. The useful, what was useful and practical. I think the last point, I'll just, you can read the others. Jessica's commitment to getting us involved. I don't think it was easy to find a sponsor or a partner for a school, especially a school where we are. And thank you for making that possible for us, Jessica. Old friend, when I walked into our first session, I met Elmo, an old friend, and I made a new I made a new villain. And in the morning, at about 7 o'clock, before 7 o'clock, my phone goes off. And this is the stuff that comes through. And thank you, Hubert, for all the messages of encouragement. And I do need it in the morning especially. One of the things that we set out to do, first of all, was to get a teacher, additional teacher, because we've got multi-grade classes, and I don't believe in the multi-grade classes. So we could work away from that. And then we had, secondly on our list, our priority list, was to get 20 computers. Now, we were the first Kanya school in the Overberg. And that was in 2001. And obviously, 2001, we are 17 years back. So, old computers didn't work, and the department is only now looking at more at the cat schools and neglecting us a bit. Don't let them hear that part. So it's up to us to make a difference. And like Willem mentioned, we can't leave our kids behind. They are our number one business. So we got from a contact. So the networking that was so important during this whole process, that we got the Peploan Foundation to donate 20 computers to the school. So we'll be up and running. The IT guys came and they installed the stuff. So we will be running from next year in our lab with 26 computers. And then there's the pretty ladies. I think the one on the left is more prettier than the other one because the other one is a politician. Oh yeah. And then just more of the networkings that took place. The whole team that was there. And what we set out this year to do, first of all, we organized a PowerPoint to the big role players, and that is the farmers in our area. Our main aims were in this order, priority list. The first one was just to get a teacher. The second one, and that was done. You must just remember, this is a period of less than a year. Getting 20 computers donated by the Babylon. The infrastructure, like I said, the school's 20 years old. The roof's never been cleaned. So we worked the whole holiday to clean the roof and do something else. And we actually built a small school hall that was opened last weekend, Monday. So, but we couldn't have done this without the help of people. And that was mostly of the farmers and also of our UK partner school that donated lots of the money. Okay, so, it's going on. So the funding application that we put into the Cape wine auction, and that is also due to Jessica, that constantly sends out messages in the night when I'm sleeping. Not that okay. And that was not successful. And the second one, we also sent, Jessica also sent to an application to the Animoton, and sorry, your application was not successful. So we got the partner school in the UK, and they built us a wall, and we completed that in 6 months. And then again, Jessica sent another mail, applied to the lottery, and what happened? We got the money 2 days back in our account. Okay, so things are happening at school. So what do I take from this journey? First of all, and I honestly mean this, to be thankful and grateful. Secondly, that we should include everybody that is surrounding us. Yeah? And when you surround yourself with good people, good things happen to you. And that is the thing that I picked up this year especially. To trust more. I think my partner, Andrew, said to me these words. He said, Fraser, trust me, it's going to happen. Trust me. And obviously, if you just know a little bit of my background, when I went to Matric Ball, I stole my mother's car. Not stole, but we got it out because I didn't have license. And so I went onto a farm to go and pick up my friend's girlfriend. So we were the two in the car, and then one of the farm, it was on the farm. So the farmer, so we were a bit late. So I was just pushing it a bit on the farm. And when I stopped at this house, the farmer came with his bakkie and drove into me. And he drove back and drove into me again. So this is the image that I've got of farmers. They cruel people. So I had to learn to trust these people. So, and then to Willem, who taught me, or said, or we had this conversation about why do the business people do this? Why do they give 85,000 rand to somebody? And Willem mentioned to me in the conversations that we had that it is good to give. And thank you for that, Willem. Okay, and then to be authentic, that was one of the courses that we also did with you, and to be more assertive and to follow up. I'm going to finish. Yeah. Right. Right. This is on the same day that we opened the school wall. We also had a massive wall painted, and we dedicate this wall to the people that suffer from cancer, because one of the ladies that was introduced to us, Cecilia Imstra, she died of leukemia this year, and she started off lots of things that made it possible for us to do what we did this year. Then the word of thanks to my partner for investing in me. And like I just mentioned, the words that will stick to me, Fraser, trust me, we are going to do it, trust me. And also for being so bold, not this bold. Okay, just back. For being available as a business partner, and what he mentioned is that time is very important, especially to business people. Okay. And then the last words of thanks, goes to the bunch of you that's sitting here and watching me talking nonsense. All the principals, I think these are great principles. And I really appreciated every little chat that we had through the nice meals that were prepared for us. To this guy over here, Dion, for the he is a star. He's a star, yeah. I was so inspired, and I also think that Doreen was inspired by him, that they are now both wearing shining shoes. I tried my utmost, but it didn't work. And obviously for all the people that we met throughout the whole course, all the partners, and then especially, and I think this is the big lady, Jessica, also for believing in me and in believing in this course. I do believe, like somebody mentioned before, lots of NGOs come to school, lots of them, making nice promises. And then we just think, oh yeah, just blow over. But thank you for sticking to us and constantly being on my case. She even got the director and my circuit manager involved in this whole thing here. And I think this also made them aware of what we are doing. So that, forgot to tell you this one, that they are now also going to maybe give us 2 more mobile classrooms because of the interventions that took place here. So thank you for that also, Jessica. Jessica is very good. She remembers things. And she even remembered my partner's birthday. I didn't even know it was his birthday. And she organized the cake for that. It looked like I gave him the cake, but thank you, Jessica. Thank you very much for that, yeah. This morning when we walked in, Jessica met my wife, Fiona. This is my wife, this one. And she said, oh yes, it's your wedding anniversary also on the 28th. And thank you for reminding me of that. You see, so she is the lady of the moment, yeah. And then to all the donors that bought into what we plan to do. Thank you.